Hey everybody, welcome back to the DomainCast. It's me again, Super Mac Guy here again as your host, and I'm joined by a very, very special guest. Today we have iConboy. iConboy, introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks a lot for having me up on your show. Appreciate it. I'm excited to get into the topics.
So, Conboy, for people who don't know what your channel is about, can you explain to them like what type of content you upload, what type of YouTuber you are?
Yeah, I've been uploading pretty much Call of Duty on the Wii or Call of Duty on Nintendo exclusively pretty much for the last almost decade now, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um, Not so much recently, but back in the day when Call of Duty was made for Nintendo, I was a frequent uploader then. Um, but yeah, I still do upload once in a while, but not as much as I'd like. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember one of the original videos I remember seeing from you was when the Nintendo edition of the Black Ops came out for the Nintendo Wii, and I remember I think you said something along the lines in your video that you got it. Was it at night launch? I think midnight launch.
Yeah, yep. That was, I think, the first game I got at midnight release, and I kind of got lucky because the Call of Duty would always come out on the second Tuesday in November or something like that, and that
Yeah.
happened to be election day, at least around where I live. So, my school district was like a voting, like served as a voting poll place, so they would close on that day.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I would always be able to play it pretty much the day it came out, all day.
That's pretty good. You had a lot of time to get acquainted with the game and such.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I would upload as soon as possible, and I think that's really kind of why my channel got most of its viewers from like my midnight release gameplays and stuff like that.
No, yeah, totally. Because at that time, I think you were one of the very few people who were uploading Black Ops Wii footage that quickly. It was literally like a day after the game had launched, and you already had footage about it. I think it was a team deathmatch or something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah, I still remember it, and it was such a good feeling getting like playing a game without lag shooting. Like we were so worried because this was the game right after Call of Duty 4, and we were a little bit worried that it was going to have the same problems, but it seemed so much smoother off the bat.
Now, a little backstory for some of you guys watching and probably wondering, what are they talking about exactly? Well, the Wii edition of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was dubbed Reflex, it had kind of a situation multiplayer-wise where it had lag shooting, and basically the connections weren't the best, so you kind of had to shoot in front of your enemy to get a hit marker on your enemy, and not the greatest gaming experience. I'm not gonna lie. I think Conboy can relate to the lag shooting experiences.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the most fun experience, like you said, but I think it made the game a little bit more unique, and definitely took a little bit more skill. Like if you developed and took the time to develop the skill with the Wii remote and got used to the lag shooting, it was like you got rewarded for it because you would pretty much dominate the lobbies and stuff like that.
I think it also kind of helped in a way. It seems weird to say that, right? Like, oh, how can lag shooting help you? Well, when you take into consideration when Black Ops Wii launched, there was no lag shooting. Your skills had already been so sharpened to the point where you get into Black Ops and kind of an easy run for any established player of the older Call of Duties on Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I think one of the recent comments I saw, I think when I made the Call of Duty like Modern Warfare Reflex video from like still online in 2019, I made that video a couple months ago, and where I went back and played it, and I talked about the lag shooting. Someone commented like, "This is pretty much like Blackout. Like you have to kind of shoot ahead of your enemies in Blackout because of like the distance drop off physics in the game and stuff like that."
Oh, there you go.
So
Similar situations.
yeah, it helps visualize it. I think for the majority of players that haven't played the game, which I thought was a cool comment. Yeah.
I think another reason why, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you made a video about this several years ago, something about how they weren't able to make a patch system for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex.
Yeah, so I think the game, um, it did well. I know it did not launch with a patch system like Black Ops which came out the year after that. So for those who don't know, we got Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Reflex when Modern Warfare 2 for the other consoles came out. So Black Ops Wii came out the year after Reflex. And yeah, the Black Ops Wii was the first game with a patch system, and so they weren't able to fix anything before that. I think maybe hot fixes, but nothing big.
Yeah, for people watching at home, probably wondering, I mean, what do you mean there's no patches? Well, being a Nintendo gamer, especially on the Nintendo Wii, and expecting to have a fully fledged Call of Duty experience, not an easy feat. You were going to have compromises, and one of those compromises was obviously the graphics, but secondary was the online modes had some glaring problems, which one of them would be the lag shooting, which was later addressed in Call of Duty Black Ops Wii. We no longer had to deal with that. And in Modern Warfare 3, we had a similar situation at the very beginning of the game. There was a little bit of lag shooting, but they patched it out simply due to the progress that they had made with the previous installment, Black Ops, for the Nintendo Wii. They had figured out how to do the patch system correctly, and they transferred over that knowledge from Black Ops into the Modern Warfare 3 video game. Combo, do you remember the launch of Modern Warfare 3? There was kind of a lag shooting situation going on.
Yeah, it was kind of sad because for those who got the game within like the first couple weeks of release, it was pretty much back to the way it was in
Square One, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, they were able to fix it within that first couple weeks or even a month. But then if you remember when they fixed the lag shooting, they messed up the hit detection with the kill streaks. So
the choppers, right? The choppers.
Yeah, exactly. They like wouldn't kill anybody unless they were standing still. So kind of.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember I was running assault chopper, and I think it was a sentry gun, but they didn't get anything.
Yeah.
You know, they had screwed up those kill streaks, so nobody ran them.
Yeah. Interesting. Always something.
Now,
weird.
I think a very famous exploit for Modern Warfare 3 Wii. I think you know which one I'm going to bring up. Do you remember the exploit where you just start shooting into the ground at some certain angle, and then you start getting random hit markers on people on the enemy team? It was kind of a game-breaking glitch.
Oh yeah, yep. That was the one with, I think it was the XM25 or whatever kind of launcher that was. There was like a grenade launcher secondary or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the XM25.
Yeah, you would shoot off like a full clip of those just like into the sky randomly, and then you could take out your gun and just like shoot, and it would get hit markers and kills no matter where the enemies were on the map. So people would just get like extended mags, light machine guns, and just
oh my god.
Yeah, that was
sad times.
Yeah. But they were able to fix that too. And I mean, this is like happens with a lot of glitches and stuff. I always wonder how they're discovered. Like,
yeah, like, are people just randomly, messing around and like, oh hey, I found this, or do they spend hours and hours trying to get that game-breaking glitch?
I don't know. And jumping like from game to game here, I think like in World at War, one of the most like game-breaking glitches, I guess, or at least map-breaking glitches, was the under-map glitch in Cliffside. I always wonder, like, how did people discover like jumping in this precise crack in this rock, like a bunch of times? How does that get me? Like, how do they figure that out? I don't really know.
People with too much free time on their hands.
Yeah,
that's my best guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But the good thing about it is they did have the patch system in place, and we were able to enjoy the game fully because the patch system got rid of that exploit, and that's a great thing to have. And now, a lot of people take for granted the stability of today's Call of Duties on PlayStation and Xbox. I know there is problems. There's always going to be problems, but ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have a truly bad experience, go play the Nintendo Wii editions of Call of Duty, and you'll realize how good you have it right now. I think Convoy can agree to that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I try to go back on each of the older Call of Duty Wii games at least once or twice a year just to play them and just kind of feel the game again and just like relive some of the memories. But yeah, it gets more and more difficult each year. I'm like, did I really play this like all day, every day back?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's hard going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is, but it's surprising how active those games still are. I mean, I had really no problems getting into matches for those games. Surprisingly, like most people don't even know that they're still online because they don't run on Nintendo's Wi-Fi connection that got shut down. So it's always surprising to me.
Yeah, they definitely have their own dedicated fan base. That is really true. Like Conboy brought up, you can still play a game on there.
Yeah,
I mean, probably only team deathmatch though, but still, it's still something.
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I got the feeling like going back and playing them this year that this might be like maybe one of the last years that you can easily find a match. So I don't know how much longer they'll last or how long the servers will stay up, but um, yeah. World at
Yeah, it's
Go ahead.
kind of a toss up in the year when exactly the final year is going to be for these Call of Duties. Uh, you know, PS5, Xbox Two, or whatever they're going to call it, it is on the verge of coming out, and with each new console generation, people eventually move away, and there's going to be a point where you won't be able to get any more footage from the older Call of Duties to anyone listening here, just in case you want to get footage of those Call of Duties.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but like I guess I could find some old gameplays on maybe old hard drives or like take ones I've already uploaded many years ago or something if I actually absolutely need them. Um, but yeah, World at War was the only game that got shut down with Nintendo servers, but the rest of them seem to be fine.
Yeah, I think World at War was on some other server, right, or some other mumbo jumbo going on there,
Yeah.
but you can still play the others. Now, I know primarily you are a Call of Duty channel, but there was a time when you did dabble in other first person shooters, such as GoldenEye for the Nintendo Wii and the Conduit series for the Nintendo Wii. What were your thoughts on those games?
Yeah, they were fun. I did upload some of those, a few gameplays. I think more so the Conduit than GoldenEye, but I did play those games a good amount. But I I don't know. There was just something about Call of Duty that maybe it's popularity and just the the fan base or the community online that kept me coming back to Call of Duty as opposed to I mean Conduit had a pretty good amount of players too. It was a popular game. Um, but for some reason I just was addicted to Call of Duty and really didn't give the other games a fair chance, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm a little guilty of not giving the others. I'm a little guilty of not giving the other games a chance as well. I have GoldenEye. I have Conduit. I started off uploading Conduit footage to everyone listening. I was a Conduit guy, but even I eventually, migrated over to Call of Duty simply because I think Call of Duty had a more fleshed out system. The voice chat was easier also on the Call of Duty side of things.
Yeah, was I don't really remember. Was there voice chat in Conduit?
There was in the original and in Conduit too, but the thing is, I don't know if you remember, but there was like this weird peripheral for the Nintendo Wii. It was like a giant mic, essentially. We Speak. I'm not sure if that's the name for it. You had to had that to communicate on the original Conduit, but with Conduit 2, I think there was a company called PDP. They released a little headset that allowed you to talk with other players, and it was a lot more simpler to use and smaller than the giant microphone that you had to buy for Conduit 1.
Okay, yeah, was that the like one ear kind of piece?
Yeah, that's the one.
Cool. Yeah, I they actually came out with a Black Ops Wii version for that as well, PDP
Yep,
headset.
that's the one.
So I had that one, but now that you mention it, I think I might kind of recall a Conduit PDP headset. Um, yeah, but that was very exciting, like seeing voice chat available for the first time on Call of Duty for the Wii as well. But it's cool that they had it for Conduit as well.
To me, Conduit was like, kind of like, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this, but I don't care. Conduit was like Halo for the Nintendo Wii for me. Sci-fi elements in there. You're kind of an unstoppable super soldier, kind of, especially when you get the advanced suit in the game. Just a lot of cool elements in that game that reminded me of Halo, like, oh, the generic drudge enemy reminds me of the hunters from Halo, and I mean Halo, bigger scope game definitely, but I still liked Conduit. It was still a fun game.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that's a fair statement. Definitely a lot of parallels between those games. And I know people were hoping for Conduit 3 or like a Wii U Conduit. So it did have a pretty strong community, but I think the developers, I think High Voltage or whatever they were,
Yeah, high voltage software.
I don't know if they ever really considered a third one or I don't know, but
Funny story behind that actually. I actually have info regarding that. At E3, I don't remember exactly, 2013, 2012, 2011, around there. They actually had a playable sample of Conduit 2 running on Nintendo 3DS. And I thought that was pretty awesome. We're like, oh, Conduit's going portable, right? It's going to be on 3DS. And it makes sense, having the 3DS, which at the time was kind of a novel concept, it was new. Like, hey, it's a lot more graphically capable than the DS was. And its graphics are better than the Wii in some aspects. Having a portable shooter like the Conduit in a handheld form would be amazing. But unfortunately, nothing ever came out of that. We only saw the demo and nothing ever came out of that. We never got it on Nintendo 3DS. But interesting enough though, we did get a mobile edition of it. You can go download it on the Android app right now. Actually, it was being advertised as a Tegra chip compatible video game back when the whole NVIDIA Tegra marketing campaign was all crazy for their tablets. And I think High Voltage Software right now is kind of not working on anything. They're just publishing other games from different studios. But I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a kind of like a Left 4 Dead style game they were working on for the Nintendo Wii called The Grinder.
I haven't heard of that, no.
There's footage on YouTube. I recommend all of you guys check it out if you're interested. Just type in Grinder, High Voltage Software. It was a little playable demo piece that they had. Now, granted, they were recycling some assets from the Conduit series. The MP5 reminded me a lot of the Conduit 2 one. And I liked where the game was going. Conduit I liked, and High Voltage Software working on a new game that reminded me of Left 4 Dead, which I had fun with my cousin on his Xbox. I was very keen to see what they could do with it, but nothing ever came out of the project. I think it was just too much money for them to lose on that, and I think Conduit 2 didn't do so hot in sales, so they kind of just dropped the idea of making a new IP.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's all new information to me, and I hope eventually they'll make a new game, kind of like Conduit, but who knows?
Yeah, like I hope so too, but honestly at this point I really doubt they will.
Yeah.
Although I will say one thing, and I think you can agree with this too. The engine they had, the Quantum engine for the Conduit games, really pushed the Wii to its limits for what was possible back in the day.
Yeah, I was always impressed with how the game kind of played out. I'm trying to think back really, but I always remember like the colors and just how it looked was much better than I think even Call of Duty. Like they just kind of had a look to their game and just how things looked and the colors were vibrant and things like that. So I enjoyed how Conduit looked.
Yeah, like when I switched over to Call of Duty, I'm gonna say it, I didn't really enjoy the graphics as much as I did when it came to Conduit. I think Conduit's engine allowed it to do certain things that the Call of Duty engine would never be able to do on that hardware. They were very limited when it comes to specs on Nintendo Wii, but High Voltage Software did some really interesting things with the Conduit and Conduit 2 with their Quantum engine. Really awesome thing they did.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Now, GoldenEye, I played a little bit. Um, I think everyone can agree that game had a lot of aim assist, a lot of it.
Yeah, I too didn't play too much of it, but I do remember kind of like scoping in and being locked on and kind of followed the guy as well as he moved.
Yeah, it was I don't want to say you didn't need a lot of skill to play that game, but definitely I think one of the easier games to get into the scene, since the aim assist was so high when it came to that game. Now,
Yeah.
I think primarily, I remember, I think you remember this guy, Snorth93, uploading a lot of GoldenEye gameplay.
Yep. Yeah, he's actually doing pretty well. He's switched to Splatoon coverage, and
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, but yeah, he did upload a good amount of GoldenEye. Trying to think who else uploaded. I know Dazran did a little bit of GoldenEye as well.
Oh wow, Tasman, I haven't heard that name in ages, dude.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to, but he's kind of like on and off with YouTube as well.
I think the last video I saw from DazRan303 was that Me Resort game he was playing. I don't know if you remember that, my Me Resort or something.
Hmm. Yeah, he was uploading those. I know he was uploading some Mario Maker footage in
Oh yeah, that too.
leading up to. This was kind of recently, like in the last few months. He was uploading like every day Mario Maker leading up to the release. I don't know when the second one's being released, but yeah, he was kind of building up hype for that, but then he just kind of stopped one day.
I hope he's doing well though. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I plan to reach out for him to get a little bit of, hopefully a little voiceover, some remarks for the documentary.
Now for people watching at home, probably wondering, well, who's Dazran303? Who's Snorth93? Well, Snorth was another Wii YouTuber on here, and Dazran was another. He also uploaded Call of Duty. I think he was one of the bigger channels at the time. I think for my recollection, from my memory, although my memory is pretty vague sometimes, so I think Convoy and Dazran were the two biggest channels when it came to uploading Call of Duty gameplay for the Nintendo Wii. And I think Convoy and Dazran 303 were one of the very few and select people who actually had partnerships at the time with the big giant themselves, Machinima.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Dazran and I were mainly uploading Call of Duty, but Dazran always had a much greater variety on his channel than I did. So he uploads like all different kinds of Nintendo games and stuff. But yeah, I think it was towards the end of Black Ops or beginning of Modern Warfare 3 that we kind of were contacted by Machinima, and luckily enough we got partnered with them, and that was a big deal because that was when Machinima was kind of in its prime.
Yeah, back in the day, for people who don't know, Machinima right now pretty much bankrupt as it is. Sad to see that. But back in the day, Machinima was one of those few MCNs that would allow you to partner with them and make money off uploading gameplay. You would get AdSense from that. And I think at the time also there still kind of is to this day a stigma if you were playing on Nintendo Wii, like, oh, a Wii guy, oh no, get him out of here, whatever.
Yeah.
And at the time, Convoy and Dazran getting that partnership was a huge thing in the community. You know, like, hey, like one of them did it. You know, they're letting Wii players up in the upper echelons of Machinima. You know.
Yeah. I mean, back then I think it was more so than now because it was when the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were out, and the Wii just obviously wasn't HD or anything, so Call of Duty just looked terrible. And it was, it got a lot of, like hate or whatever from the community. And back then, yeah, like you said, it was a big deal to kind of get on Machinima, and there wasn't much Wii gameplay in general, and there was no Call of Duty Wii gameplay, so it was like a pretty big deal to our smaller community, like on the Nintendo side.
Yeah, it was a very tight-knit community. Not as big as the others, but it was still a nice community. You know, there wasn't a lot of toxicity going on, not a lot of fighting from what I remember. I do remember one issue only, although it was very small. It kind of went away after a while, and that's about it really. You know, most communities Some people end up on drama alert, stuff like that. But
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because we were like such a small player base, I think like in terms of players online for Black Ops, I think the on Black Ops for the Wii it was I think like 50 or 60,000, I remember at one point.
yeah,
So it was a much smaller community than, the other consoles, but even on YouTube, it was a big enough community where like you could always find new content from people if you were looking for it, but it was small enough that you could like pretty much know everyone, and it was much more supportive. Like you said, it wasn't as toxic and not too much drama going on. It was just kind of people enjoying the game and making content and that kind of stuff.
yeah, like you brought up, it was small, but you never had trouble finding any content. If I had just finished watching one of your videos, hey, I'm gonna go check out Dazran's videos, or if I haven't caught up with I don't know if you remember KidLat404.
Yeah.
I think that's his channel name.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go watch one of KidLat's videos, and Mr. Hunting Noobs also. I love watching that guy. I'd go watch one of his videos also. There was always something new coming out of the community.
Yeah, and just like a whole bunch of different personalities, and even like with clans and groups of people in the community, like most of the clans got along, and yeah, it was just kind of a laid back, chill, kind of smaller community, but it was definitely cool, and a bunch of different channels to watch and things like that.
I remember. I think this was like 7 years ago. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
8, maybe more than that. Time flies. I remember you uploaded a promo on your YouTube channel called the Brotherhood Gaming promo. Do you remember the Brotherhood Gaming?
Yep. It was a clan of.
Tell us what that was about, Comboy.
Yeah, sure. That was pretty much a clan of people that I had known from World at War. So Call of Duty World at War. It had a game battles ladder for the Wii, which was cool. So the game battle scene for World at War was huge, on the Wii at least, and there were a lot of different clans, but I managed to somehow get into one of the higher up clans, like in terms of like on the game battles ladder or whatever, and even though I was in like a lower squad or whatever, I met a whole bunch of people. We eventually we stayed in touch through the years, like as more Call of Duty games came out, and we kind of formed this clan or whatever called the Brotherhood or Brotherhood Gaming, and we made a YouTube channel. So it was just people that played in the community that I had known for a while, and we just kind of formed one channel and just uploaded some stuff there. Yeah, I think we made a montage and just kind of did other clan stuff, but yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, I remember that when that was being advertised on your channel, and I even uploaded the promo to my channel just for fun.
Thank you.
Oh hey, no problem. I was like, well, Conboy's gonna need some help with this. I know I'm a small channel, but I'm gonna try to help him out. No matter how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brotherhood Gaming right now. I checked them out a couple months ago. Just for the nostalgia factor. I think someone might have sold off the channel. Do you know anything about that?
We still have it. I don't know if we know the password anymore or the email to get in, but we haven't given it away to anyone. But there is a video that the most recent video was this just kind of joke rap video that XChaos made. But yeah, we haven't uploaded anything since kind of Call of Duty on the Wii or Call of Duty Nintendo kind of died out and people kind of moved away, and we lost contact with most of the people in Brotherhood. So yeah, the channel's not active anymore, but oh well. That's how it goes, I guess.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
People move on.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
are you
another
sorry.
big. Oh, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, are you I'm sure you had a bunch of friends and met a bunch of people through Call of Duty on the Wii for you've known them for almost a decade now. Are you still in touch with a lot of people that you met?
Not really anymore. On Conduit, I knew some people, but eventually, since I switched over to Call of Duty, that kind of drifted apart.
Hmm.
I did make some new Call of Duty friends though, and some of them did transition over to the Nintendo Wii U on Black Ops 2.
Hmm.
Shout out to the gaming pancake Fishy. Uh, if you're out there listening, what's up, guys? It's been a long time, but yeah, I've definitely made some friendships online. Definitely. I just don't think the current gaming place right now is the same it was like 7 or 8 years ago. I think it's harder to make these online friends.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I don't really know why that is. I don't know. People, there's kind of a meme going around about the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies when everyone had mics and there was all this trash talking, and I think the meme is X, Y, and Z would never survive in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby because of all these people talking. But now there's people usually just people stay in parties or they don't have mics in, or I don't know.
I mean, a different era, I guess.
Yeah.
Back then, even in Modern Warfare 3 on Nintendo Wii, you'd think, oh, it's a Wii game. You're not gonna find anything toxic. Trust me, there was some big talkers for the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
Big talkers on there too, and
yeah, definitely.
like Convoy brought up earlier, Modern Warfare 2 memes are real. You'd hop into a lobby, and there'd be for lack of better words, a shitstorm brewing up in the lobby, and all you can do is either join in or get out of there.
Yeah, it could get pretty bad. A lot of cussing, insults being thrown around.
I think my favorite threat people would use. My friend's a hacker. He's gonna make you prestige 0 and never gonna let you level up past level 5 or whatever. Those types of kids always crack me up.
Yeah, for sure. There were a lot of empty threats and stuff, but
oh yeah, definitely. And it was even funnier when Modern Warfare 3 came out because I don't know if you remember, but it actually had a text message system in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, I think it was introduced in Black Ops, but yeah, there was a messaging system for both games.
That also added to the whole, the whole tough guy, the whole tough guy trash talk element of Call of Duty. I think was the message system. Come on, guys, you lose the fight, get over it.
Yeah.
I was called a hacker once because I killed a lot of kids with the L80, I think it's the L85 light machine gun, and his reasoning was that, oh, you can't be that good with a light machine gun sucks, or whatever, something along those lines.
Yeah, that text messaging system was fun, but you definitely got some threats or insults in those messages too. Yeah.
Moving on from the insults and stuff like that, I think a lot of people who are part of the Call of Duty scene remember this one channel in particular, and I think you are going to remember it as well. Call of Duty Wii Cinema.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was a community channel that I think it was one of the first community channels because I think it was actually older than my channel. But yeah, community channels aren't as big anymore, I don't think. But back in the day, they were pretty large, and they would just be a collection of different creators coming together and making videos on one channel, and you would just kind of get variable content.
Yeah, you don't really see that anymore. Community channels like that. At the time, it was great. That's how you would discover a lot of new creators.
Yeah.
If you were oh, what's up and coming? Who's new? You'd go to Call of Duty Wii Cinema and check out what they were doing on there.
Yeah. It was. I mean, Machinima Respawn was probably I guess you could consider that a community channel. But that's more, I guess, exclusive because you have to be a Machinima director and stuff like that. But
yeah.
like you said, you just kind of go to these channels to find new directors or find new content creators and things like that. But yeah, it was a cool channel for sure.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were one of the directors for Call of Duty Wii Cinema.
Yeah, I knew the guy who ran it. His name was iC0NB0Y, and he created it. But eventually, me and a couple other people kind of got involved in creating, like, not only uploading our own videos there, but like finding other creators and
Oh, so like kind of managing.
yeah, yeah. It was. I remember making sure like uploads were scheduled ahead of time and things like that. It's unfortunate that I think iC0NB0Y actually ended up deleting the channel, which was unfortunate because it's
Oh, that
always
sucks.
nice to go back and look at the old videos, but you can't.
Yeah, like that's the thing with Call of Duty Wii Cinema no longer around. You can't look at the videos, and that's a similar situation for Machinima right now. All of their videos are gone, and it's really sad to see them all erased,
Mhm.
gone from existence. There's a lot of history in there.
Yes, so much, like thousands of videos, and I wonder, do you know if they're deleted or if they're privated or?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, though, we can't see any of them, and
Yeah.
it's understandable. The new owners don't want to get into any legal troubles, for copyright. Like, hey, do we have the copyright for this random song used in episode, I don't know, whatever the heck in this video? So it makes sense, but at the same time, that's a lot of videos. They're taking away a lot of awesome content that a lot of people enjoyed for a lot of years, and it's just I don't
Yeah.
know. It just saddens me to see it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And like that's I think originally what kind of got me into uploading gameplays myself was looking at these machinima directors and like watching their videos. So it would be cool to go back and watch, some of the like original Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2 players, and I remember Modern Warfare 2 on Respawn was huge.
Oh yeah,
So
I remember watching a couple Hutch videos. I don't know if you remember him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All the kind of like OG people would be cool to see like those videos, but maybe one day they'll kind of these videos will resurface, but probably not.
I think there needs to be another Machinima. There needs to be a new group
Mhm.
that takes what Machinima was, the good parts, because I do know Machinima had a lot of bad parts to it, but
Mhm.
they need to get what made Machinima good and try to replicate that, because Machinima was an awesome channel to watch. There was a lot of creators on there, Hutch, one of them that I brought up,
Yeah.
and just to see it all erased, and now like the content on YouTube, I don't think it compares.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Like you said, it's just like it's kind of a whole different website in a way. Like the YouTube algorithm and the way things work on YouTube have changed so much since the early days of Machinima Respawn that like I don't think a channel would be like if it was created to replicate Respawn. I don't know how well it would do because just I don't know. I feel like the content standard has changed almost. Like back then it was predominantly gameplay commentary, but there aren't many YouTubers who do that much anymore. It's more kind of live stream highlights
Yeah,
and
it's
things
like
like that.
yeah, it's like a live stream with the face cam, and then they upload the highlights to their YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
Yeah,
of that type of scenario.
yeah.
I think
Mhm.
since I was a conduit guy at first, we had our own conduit Wii Cinema. I don't know if you ever heard about that one.
Mhm. I don't remember too much about that one personally, but yeah.
We had that thing going on. Now, I wasn't a director or anything of that sort, but I think a guy I used to watch a lot, conduit-wise, was a guy named Red Nova something, and I think he went offline for like years. He came back as a different username or something along those lines. Awesome guy. I really liked his gameplay, but
Mm-hmm.
Conduit Cinema, I think, is still up to this day. And if any of you guys are Conduit fans, check out Conduit Cinema if you have the time. It's still up. You can still check out the videos on there. I was thinking of uploading a Conduit 2 video on there like 7 years ago, but that never materialized. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool that it's still up and the videos are still available. Yeah, I mean, just like seeing some of these names, like on the community channel is pretty cool. Like you said, Red Nova, Mark Morbidity.
Yeah, I think if you I think if you type in Conduit Cinema, oh well, ironically enough, one of my videos comes up saying remembering Conduit Cinema. I uploaded a video regarding Conduit Cinema like a year ago because I was feeling nostalgic for whatever reason. But the second video is actually from Conduit Cinema, JJ Coolio's introduction to Conduit Cinema. So if you guys are interested, go check that out if you want to experience the vintage Conduit scene.
For sure, yeah.
Let's see, what else? You know what, let's talk about, well actually, before we get to Machinima, me personally as a channel, I never uploaded to any of these community-based channels. You know, Call of Duty Wii Cinema, never uploaded there. Conduit Wii Cinema, never uploaded there. Primarily due to the fact that my gear was a pile of garbage. I'm not gonna lie, very, very, very slow. I was working off Dazzle quality, and as Conboy knows, Dazzle quality ain't the best quality. And at the time, HD PVRs were beginning to get popularized in the gaming scene. A lot of people were, the bigger channels had them. Conboy, I know you had one for a fact, the HD PVR.
Yeah, they were, I guess that was like before HDMI really became popular, so it was those 5 component cables. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at that time, you know, I was thinking to myself, well, a lot of these people who are uploading have a better video quality than I do, right? And honestly, it would take me 7 hours to render a video, and I just didn't bother with it, you know, like 7 hours for a video that's going to be like maybe 480p, not going to do it. Although I did get the opportunity to do it once on another YouTuber's channel. He had a kind of like a commentator showcase kind of Friday style of show. It was, I think it was Fate Wii. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave me the opportunity to come onto his channel and, you know, talk about whatever, you know. And if you're asking, oh, where can we watch Vintage Mech Guy on someone else's channel from like 7 years ago? Unfortunately, I think Fate Wii closed his channel. I cannot find the video that had me in it, and I did not back that up at all. So that video was lost to cyberspace, but
oh, that's unfortunate.
It was very cool on Fate's part to allow me to upload to his channel. And
yeah, he did actually close that channel, but he opened up a new one, and I found it probably last year or a year ago. I forget what it is now, but I think I subscribed. But he's still uploading somewhere, so maybe, I mean, if his channel is deleted, he can't recover your video, but maybe he privated it or something.
Yeah, maybe. You know, I don't want to say too much because, you know, I respect Fate. You know, he gave me an opportunity, and that always counts in my book. I saw a Dazran 303 video a couple months ago, and not to get into too much specifics, if you guys want to go check that out, you're more than welcome to, but I think there were some sort of issues between them, and that was kind of the only negative thing about the community that comes to mind when it came to, you know, beefs, I guess you could say, on there. But even then, I never even heard about it as a subscriber of Dazran, you know, or of Fate's YouTube channel. I was subscribed to them. I watched their content back in the day a lot, and even back then, I never ever heard about that going down, and it's just really surprising, you know, finding out about this like 7 years later.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, there was very minor kind of beefs, but I think, I forget what happened between them, but probably something along the lines of, like, a fight or something minor, and just kind of uploaded
Yeah, it was probably some silly thing, you know.
Yeah,
Some silly
it
disagreement.
happens.
Yeah, but, you know, overall, I liked Fate's content overall. You know.
Yeah, no, I thought he was a nice guy as well. I mean, obviously, he may have done some things that probably weren't the best decisions, but yeah, I agree. I think he was a solid commentator, and I I think I uploaded one of his videos to my secondary
I remember
channel.
something on your channel. I think you had a dual com with Fate, and I think Fate was giving you tips on how to be a better commentator. I think, or something along those lines. I don't know if you remember that one.
Maybe, yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, it was a Modern Warfare 3 map. I think it was on Dome.
Hmm.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Now,
he was a good commentator, I think.
now moving on from Fate, the big question here, I think, well, that I want to know and a lot of people want to know also that were following the community religiously back in the day. How did you feel about getting the Machinima partnership, and what went through your mind? And did you ever think you were going to get it?
It was a huge deal for me at the time. I forget how old I was, but I think I was a freshman in high school, so still relatively young. Um, and I just remember being very excited about it, and I was still kind of like I would still get offended if people like made fun of the Wii because I was like a young kid. I didn't really have an idea of like what actually mattered in the world and what didn't. But I remember being pretty excited about it. Um, and yeah, I wasn't completely surprised that I got it because I thought I would eventually, but um, if you remember, Machinima had kind of a Facebook app, and there was like a system where you could upload your video there and get people to thumbs up your video. And I did that, and I made a video and a whole bunch of my
Yep, I remember that one.
yeah. So they got it to the top, and we got a little bit of attention um, there. So I think it was bound to happen at one point, but yeah, it was just an awesome feeling.
No, yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people in the community were very proud of you for getting the partnership. You know, because it's up until that point, I think only Dazran had the partnership before you.
Mhm.
My mind's a little foggy.
Yeah, I
Um,
think he did get it maybe a short time before. There were other people that uploaded Wii content that were smaller channels, but they didn't upload Call of Duty, and I think they might have been an employee at Machinima, so they got their channel direct as a partner through them as well. Um, but yeah, I think Dazran was the first, and then I shortly thereafter, which was awesome. And then short time later, Dazran was able to upload on to Respawn, which was even a bigger deal in my opinion because he kind of like actually uploaded the footage there and got like tens of thousands of views on like Call of Duty Wii gameplay, and people loved it.
oh yeah,
Um,
definitely, yeah. I think I remember watching that video actually on Respawn.
yeah, he had it was called Mission Moab, and he had this Modern Warfare 3 series, and people like really liked the series, and I was surprised at the ratings. Like there weren't many dislikes at all. I mean, there were of course like was this video recorded with a potato? Like those kinds of
Yeah, there's
comments.
always that one.
But yeah, I mean people liked it, which was awesome. Yeah.
It was definitely cool seeing him on there. You know, it's not something you regularly see on a channel of Machinima Respawn size. And well, I mean, let's be honest, it's mostly a PS3 and Xbox 360 uh, fan base on there. You know, so having him on there was a big deal to a lot of people in the community at the time. And
Yeah, for sure.
and you know, I just felt happy for Dazran 303. You know, him evolving as a channel and getting to that point, I think was awesome. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was one of the most exciting moments in like our small community history, I guess. Um,
Now, I know you might not be able to get into a lot of specifics due to legal contracts that you might have signed, but what would you say was some of the more negative aspects of being a partner with Machinima, if you had any negative interactions with them at all? Because I know a lot of people have heard that Machinima had some kind of crafty contracts that people that people were forced to sign, kind of.
Yeah, they were great at first. Like the first couple years, I don't think I had many problems at all. But then, as you know, like Machinima kind of started heading downhill, and things were happening, and like you said, people were signing these contracts. Kind of, some of them were the content creators' fault, like that they didn't really read the specifics of the contract. And some of them were like more so because of Machinima's practices, I guess. But towards these last few years, especially like maybe probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point, maybe even 5, like a whole bunch of my videos got deleted, and Machinima really was not helpful at all in trying to recover them. They pretty much said they got deleted because it was your fault, and there's nothing we can really do about it. But the partner support was kind of lackluster in the years leading to Machinima's demise, but I'm very thankful and grateful for them overall.
I think I remembered you making a video, something along those lines of, you had a lot of videos deleted, I think. That was the video you uploaded, I'm not sure, a long time ago. But, like you brought up earlier, I think a lot of people don't read contracts. And they just sign, like, oh, hey, Machinima wants me on their network. Oh, I'm just going to go willy-nilly sign everything and not read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of reading to do, but it's a contract, and there's a lot of money involved, potentially. If you're not going to invest your time reading a contract that's that important to you, it's going to generate you revenue, then, don't be kind of surprised if you kind of get stuck with a crappy contract.
Yeah. I think those contracts, if you didn't read it, that's kind of your fault. It's not really the network's fault. But I remember it getting a lot of negative attention, like giving Machinima a lot of negative attention for some reason. I forget what was happening, but I think they weren't paying as much to the directors. So a lot of their really big YouTubers started leaving Machinima and started going somewhere else. And I think that was the beginning of the end.
Speaking of big creators, apparently, Machinima was so bad and so badly mismanaged. They had no idea that the biggest YouTube channel was under their banner, PewDiePie. And they only realized that PewDiePie was under their partnership when he announced to them that he was leaving.
Oh
So
my
you gotta
gosh.
let that sink in for a minute. The
Yeah.
biggest channel on YouTube was partnered with Machinima, but they didn't know until the day he left. How does that even happen? Seriously,
Yeah.
guys, come on.
That's like unbelievable almost. And I remember watching your video about Machinima, like when they finally kind of went out of business, I guess. And that was the first time I heard that PewDiePie was actually partnered with them. But yeah, if they didn't know that he was in there, that's like a huge problem, and that kind of speaks for itself into like why they kind of died out.
Yeah, definitely mismanaged, I think, at a lot of levels. And I think you know more about them than I do, since you deal with them on a one-to-one basis, since you were partnered with them. Now, I think where a lot of the flack came from was, I remember reading an article, a story, a lot of YouTube videos were covering this too, I think. Someone had gotten into a contract for, like, I don't know, 70 years or something, but it eventually turned out to be a contract where they couldn't get out of the contract no matter what they did, and I think they ended up taking that one to court. I don't know if you remember hearing anything about that.
No, I that doesn't sound familiar. I didn't know they.
There was something along the lines that it was kind of a bogus contract, that Machinima made some absurd contract with some YouTuber, and I think that's where the majority of the flack came from, was that bad contract.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know that, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah, if I can find it, I'll link it down in the description, everybody. But yeah, just look it up online too. I think it should be popping up there as well. Now, Conboy, what made you want to start YouTube specifically? Like, is there any one channel that you're like, hey, I really like what this guy's doing, I'm gonna try to do something similar to them? I think you are one of my biggest inspirations for starting my YouTube channel.
Thank you. Yeah. It's kind of hard to think back now, but I know Machinima Respawn, I would watch so many videos on there, primarily like, but yeah, I think it was around like towards the end of Modern Warfare Reflex that I started uploading, and like early Black Ops 1 days. But I think definitely Machinima Respawn, there were like content creators there, obviously like got me excited and like inspired me to try it out. But also I think Dazran303 was uploading, and his videos were great. There were probably other channels that I'm forgetting now, that it's been so long that maybe either they stopped uploading or I kind of forgot about. But yeah, I know those two places primarily served as an inspiration. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, like definitely I think well me personally when I first started off, I got a lot of inspiration from Conboy. I loved what he was doing with his channel, uploading Wii gameplay and at the time I only had a Nintendo Wii. There was no other way I was going to be able to play Call of Duty or anything of that sort. And I just really liked what Conboy was doing, so I started uploading stuff. Granted I couldn't match his quality, I had that really cheapo setup with that Dazzle, although I still love my Dazzle, still have it to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, and yeah,
Yeah,
it was you
I'm glad
and
to hear that I
Dazran.
served as a inspiration to get your channel going. That's always
Yeah,
cool.
definitely, man.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, these days I'm not really uploading that much Call of Duty Wii gameplay anymore, but that's where my roots are essentially. Call of Duty commentator, and I still commentate, to this day, albeit it'll be about something else, I think recently, I was doing a video about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare reveal trailer. I was doing that and stuff like that, so still commentating to this day.
Yeah, it's still a fun hobby. I too don't really upload very much anymore. Um, it's not that I don't want to, I kind of do, but I feel like I'm kind of in a weird spot with my channel. I don't really know what to upload. And I also don't have much time anymore I'm in graduate school, so that
Yeah.
takes up a lot of time, but I feel like I'm stuck with kind of like what to upload. We had like a pretty cool niche, uploading Call of Duty Wii. And once that kind of died out,
I think once the Wii U came out, it kind of fragmented a little bit, and I
yeah,
think that was kind of the end, the beginning of the end.
yeah, for sure. But I still upload maybe, I think this past year I've only uploaded like 20 videos or something, but I'm always surprised like how many views I get. I can still get a couple thousand people to watch, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm definitely not as active as I would want to be.
Like 3 months ago, I think no two, you uploaded Modern Warfare 3 Wii in 2019. That video got over 360,000 views. You definitely still have a following, man.
Yeah, that one got, I think, recommended from, I don't know where it got recommended to, but I think it put it on people's homepages. And
Oh, nice. You got in the algorithm.
yeah, I got in the algorithm, and then the week after, 1 week later, I uploaded Modern Warfare Reflex on the Wii, and that I think got close to 100,000 views.
Yeah, that one right now is at 97,000.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
almost there.
so those were all algorithm views, and I was kind of riding the algorithm, and I was going to upload the Black Ops Black Ops Wii 2019 video the next Friday, but I actually had to go on a research cruise in the Gulf of Mexico for like the lab I'm doing research in, and wasn't able to upload that. That cruise was 3 weeks, so I had to wait like a month, and then when I uploaded it, it didn't get recommended by the algorithm, I guess, but that's okay. I mean, I don't know. Like I did gain probably 2,000 new subscribers, but I think they're kind of lost quickly because again, like I don't think any channel could be really built today off of uploading Call of Duty Wii gameplay. Like, I think I have to either change the game or kind of progress, either start live streaming or something. But
Yeah, like you're in a special situation because your channel was primarily Call of Duty Wii. You had a very selected market, to say the least. And I think eventually a big thing is that a lot of people have to switch over to different games or different genres because the fan bases kind of dry up, and we're kind of seeing that right now with the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, there's still people playing, but there's new Call of Duty games coming out on different platforms, and it just dilutes the fan base.
yeah, definitely. I think that's what, like, ultimately it comes down to how good of an entertainer you are. And I think for me, I always think like I'm definitely not the most entertaining commentator. I'm kind of a boring, somewhat monotone kind of commentator, but because I had that kind of unique niche in the like uploading Call of Duty Wii, I think that's what partially why my channel did well in its prime. But that kind of prevents me from like branching out and trying like being
New things.
yeah.
Well, I think my recommendation to you would be experiment with a new channel. Clean slate. Doesn't have to be Call of Duty related, but if you're still looking to build a gaming channel, I think you should start a new channel. For gaming. Like I don't know if you want to keep the Convoy name or anything of that sort, but because it's a fresh new start. You can rebuild the community, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it might be cool. Because I think a lot of people who are subscribed to your channel are solely subscribed because of Call of Duty for the Nintendo consoles, and that's really the only reason why a lot of them are on the channel. So a new channel gives you that chance to grow and get a bigger fan base.
Yeah. I always kind of go back and forth and stuff like that, and I I definitely want to try making more kind of science or educational kind of videos about cool things that I'm interested in. And I made a few of them already, and they did well. The one did a lot better than the other, but I would like to kind of try those a little bit more. And then if I want to continue uploading gaming stuff, I could, like you said, start a new channel, or I can maybe just upload them onto my main channel, or but
Yeah, like I'm looking at like one of the science type of vids you did, and the how do plants move? 5 methods plants use for seed dispersal. That got over 7,000 views.
mhm.
That did really good compared to the other videos that were Call of Duty focused. And did more than double the views. So I think you definitely do have a following for the more science type videos on there. I think you could definitely experiment with opening a Convoy Science channel of that sort, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think I just kind of have to do it, and it's hard to do it during school because there's so much going on, and but I kind of just have to sit down and force myself to create content because I do enjoy it so much, but like I said, that it's just the time requirement. It's hard to kind of balance everything
Oh yeah,
alone.
definitely. Like it's all about time. Like I can work on some videos because I'm working on game domain videos, and you
Mhm.
gotta know how to juggle your time in order to be an effective YouTuber, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. Time management is crucial, especially if you're in school or if you have a job and are trying to balance content creating and things like that. Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of people uh, don't pay attention to what makes a video, what steps you gotta take to make the video, and
hmm
I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think we're gonna go a little bit more in depth. The equipment we use as commentators to record gameplay and to record our voices. Now, Convoy, can you give us a breakdown of what equipment you have used over the years for your footage and for your commentaries?
Yeah, sure. I originally started with a Dazzle, DVC 100. I think that might be probably is the one you have, or maybe a different kind. But
Yep.
it pretty much took the RCA cables right in, and you had to buy splitters and to split the feed so you could still watch it on the TV. And then I think I went from that to the HD PVR, and then I used that for a couple years, and I switched to um, Hauppauge Elgato Game Capture HD, which I think is by far the most popular capture card nowadays.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they seem to kind of monopolize the gaming scene with their equipment, but so I use that currently, and that still works very well. And then I have a Blue Snowball microphone, which I think was the standard back in the day, but now microphones are much more sophisticated, I guess, or people aren't using really the Snowball anymore. I don't think.
I think the my bad. The Blue Yeti, I think, is still a big competitor when it comes to microphones in today's system for gamers, and people just looking to make videos in general for commentating and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you're also right. Things have evolved. I was looking to go into a little bit about the Blue Snowball products. I think they're great products, but I think they're a little bit overpriced. I think I just recently on Game Domain I did a review for a microphone. Wasn't that expensive. I think it was $29.99, and it gave me some pretty gosh darn good quality. And I listened back to like a Blue Snowball and like, is it really worth the $49.99? And I think to myself, I don't really think it is. I think if you're a upstart YouTuber looking to commentate or whatever, there's a lot of cheaper options these days instead of dumping out a lot of money for like, I don't know, a Blue Snowball or a Blue Yeti. And even then, like you brought up earlier, things are getting a lot more high tech. There's a lot of XLR setups now. It gives you a lot more better quality than a USB mic will ever do. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think the formula, I guess, to becoming a popular content creator online now is live streaming, and like I said, in the past it's been commentary and stuff, like recording a gameplay, commentating over it later, and uploading it. But now I think the way to become big is by streaming, and you need so much more equipment for streaming. You need good internet, you need a face cam, probably some kind of lighting. I know, like, the best streamers have such sophisticated setups. It's crazy with all the lighting and green screen and backdrops and everything going on. So it's getting a little harder.
Going back to I'm going to go back to the streaming in a minute because I do want to talk about that. I think it's even more difficult to grow on there than it is on YouTube. But video capture wise, I think more than ever right now, it's the best we've ever had it. PS4, Xbox One have built-in DVRs now, so there's no need for a capture card essentially. And I bought a capture card to replace my Dazzle. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember. Funny enough, it's called the EasyCap, and before you guys jump to conclusions, no, it's not the EasyCap DC60. The EasyCap DC60 was a very, very popular competitor to the Dazzle DVC100 back in the day. Quality was pretty bad, but this new EasyCap does HD, 1080p, 30 FPS, and I got it for $90. And I think back in the day when the HD PVR launched, that was the first HD capable device for recording gameplay. I think that was like $199 or something around those lines. So buying a capture card these days, a lot cheaper, and you're getting almost the same quality for a lot less. And it's just amazing how far we've come with capture cards. And I just checked the other day, a new one for the EasyCap 280, the model I have, $79.99. A further price drop, and it's still pretty decent quality if I do say so myself.
Yeah, if you're getting HD quality, that's pretty good. Yeah, I know things are slowly evolving to 4K gaming on 4K, definitely. But that's, I think, still a couple years out till that becomes a standard.
Yeah, I think the only downside to my capture card is I can't live stream with it, unfortunately, but that really doesn't matter to me since I don't really live stream at all to begin with, so
yeah,
works out fine for me. I'm pretty sure you remember watching those, because a lot of YouTubers back in the day used to upload quality tests of their capture cards, like for their dazzles or their easy caps, and I'm sure you've seen your share of really bad quality videos titled Easy Cap Test 1 or 17 or stuff like that.
Yeah, I do remember the Easy Cap. I don't remember too much like seeing footage or anything, but yeah, if they, I mean, if it works for you and it's, recording good quality, then more power to you. You saved money on the capture card, and like you said, they're becoming less expensive, so that's even better.
Yeah, like prices are going down. I think right now, if you don't want to be a streamer, okay, if you just want to be a YouTuber, make videos, I think, especially gaming related content, it's a really good time to get in the game. Things are cheaper than ever, and the Xbox and PS4 have the built-in DVR into them, so it's like having a mini HD PVR inside your PS4, and it's free too. It comes with the console. Great time to do it now. Moving on from equipment, really quick, do you still use Sony Vegas?
I actually recently got a new computer, probably last month, because my old one that I had been using for probably close to 6 or 7, maybe 8 years, finally kind of gave out. So I actually found a new software that's free, called DaVinci Resolve. So I've been using that.
Oh, I've heard about DaVinci.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's made by Blackmagic, who I think also makes some kind of capture cards.
Yeah, the Blackmagic Intensity Pro, I believe. I think that's the name of it.
Okay, yeah. But they came out with this DaVinci Resolve, and there's a free version and a paid version. But the free version, you can do pretty much everything. Or not everything, obviously, but you can do pretty much like anything you would need to do to get a video to YouTube. I think you can't render in 4K with the free version, but I don't do that anyway. And I'm not too sure what other features are missing, but this is like a really good program so far for me. I'm enjoying using it.
No, that's cool though, definitely, because it's affordable since it's free. If someone's looking to use a video editor and they want to, I guess, upgrade from Movie Maker, then definitely give DaVinci a try. I would recommend it too. If Cowboy says it's cool, I'm gonna say it's cool too.
Yeah, Sony Vegas I had been using for a long time, and that was good, and I was so used to it. But, yeah, I mean, this one's free and it's new, so can't beat that.
I think back in the day, I started off with a program called Pinnacle Studio, and mostly because it came with my Dazzle, so I used that.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, I made a very good intro, well, at least to me, on Pinnacle Studio, and I don't have Pinnacle Studio anymore, but it was a nice program at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I eventually got Sony Vegas because, Convoy, I think, started using Sony Vegas, and a lot of other commentators were using Sony Vegas, and I'm like, hey, I want to, increase the production quality on these videos, I should switch to Sony Vegas. And I switched to Sony Vegas, and I still use Sony Vegas, although, albeit Sony Vegas Pro 16 is kind of crash prone, so not the smoothest experience, but I digress.
Yeah, I actually remember Pinnacle Studio as well. I used that for a little bit. And I made some tutorial videos that I think are still on YouTube, but I don't know if Pinnacle Studio is still around or making new updates or anything for new software, but
I have no clue at all.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, moving on from equipment, going back to streamers, let me hear your thoughts on why you think specifically it's really hard to be a streamer.
Well, I think, like I said, with just the amount of equipment you need to start, it probably, if you're gonna get like all new equipment and backdrops, lighting, and everything, it could get really expensive, like probably close to $1,000 or something like that. And I mean, to take that leap, obviously you don't have to do everything, but if you want to compete with like the higher end streamers who have like all these graphics and transitions made, different scenes for there are different live streaming things, and it's going to be pretty expensive to start. And then even if you do get all of that, you're not guaranteed to be successful because, like on Twitch, I don't, I mean, I haven't really streamed on Twitch before, so I don't know too much about how it works, but I know for YouTube, at least growing is a little difficult, obviously. But I assume for Twitch, it's the same thing. Like the bigger streamers who are always streaming are on the front page, and unless you get lucky somehow, or you just continue to be consistent, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get discovered and to grow, especially because it's becoming more and more common for people to be streaming. Like you said, you can just do it from your console now.
Yeah, it's very, very competitive, I think, on Twitch and on any streaming platform, because I think on YouTube, you don't have to dedicate your time 24/7 to watch your favorite creator. That video will be there tomorrow. Well, hopefully it will be there, but typically it is there tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You can watch it later, save it and watch later. But on Twitch, you're constantly fighting for people's attention, like right now. It's happening right now. They're not going to be able to watch the stream later. Well, they can technically, but I think the stream video's only up for a couple days and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're competing with thousands of other people looking to entertain someone on like essentially live TV, and it's a difficult situation because, like you brought up, you gotta have the right gear for it. People are not gonna watch you if you have less than HD quality. It's just the sad fact, That's the truth. People want to hear a good voiceover. They want to hear somebody that has decent voice quality.
Yeah.
They want to see good gameplay as well, and it's just very competitive right now on Twitch because I think the YouTube golden era is over, essentially, but the Twitch golden era, I think, is just barely getting off. And it's kind of like a rush of people trying to be the next Ninja or whatever.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There was something, you have to also be like pretty consistent when you're streaming, and streaming generally takes up a lot more time than uploading a video. Maybe if you upload a video, you record it, you edit it, add your commentary, render it, and upload, maybe, depending on how long your video is, a couple hours. But if you're streaming, you have to do, the big streamers like stream up to maybe 8 hours a day, which is crazy. So that's like a huge time commitment too. And, if you're in school or if you work or need some source of income, that's going to be pretty much impossible for you to do and start growing a Twitch following. So that's another factor.
It's a lot of time. You got to dedicate a lot of time. And I think some YouTubers try to do it, but honestly, it just doesn't work out for them because it's kind of like a culture shock, Not the same as YouTube. It's a different scene. You can't just adapt if you're playing by YouTube rules, I think. You got to evolve as a creator.
Yeah. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Like, I think one creator, I think he was a very big channel back in the day. I think his name was Wings of Redemption. He was a big Call of Duty channel, and he went on to be a Twitch streamer, and even right now he's had a lot of problems with Twitch streaming, and for a person of his caliber for his channel, it's kind of bewildering to see the struggle that there is right there, and it's just how it is. Call of Duty is not the big powerhouse when it comes to views that it was before. I think you can agree with me that back then, like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, a lot of the biggest YouTube videos were Call of Duty related with Call of Duty commentators.
Yeah, definitely. Call of Duty is definitely not getting the views it used to, or the popularity it used to. It's more so Fortnite, but even Fortnite's kind of leveling off now at the top of its curve, or on a slight downward. But that's how games are. Call of Duty held the crown for a couple years, had a good run, but
had its moment.
Yep,
definitely.
Yeah,
I think, but yeah, Twitch streaming, personally not for me. I don't think I'll ever do it. Just too taxing. You got to do a lot more, and you need a lot better equipment too for that. And like Conboy brought up earlier, the internet speeds are, you got to have a decent internet connection for that as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Solid computer too to be able to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You see, you also need a solid computer, something powerful. You're going to be running a lot of cables, a lot of devices.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have, like a rinky-dinky $200 laptop from Best Buy, it's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it at all.
Yep. I tried streaming a couple times throughout the last few years, or maybe even longer than that, but just never really worked out for me, and it was always one reason or another my stream would kind of lag. So I never really got it together. It's unfortunate, but like you said, I don't think streaming was really for me either.
Yeah, like, people can stream if they want. I'm not saying don't stream. Do whatever you want. But for me, and I think for Convoy as well, I don't think streaming is really our forte, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely.
But if I was making $1 million from streaming, Pitcher Bottom, I'd be streaming, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You bet so. No doubt about it. Yeah. Now, let's end this DomainCast off with the community montage documentary. I think you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I think just kind of as a culmination of all the memories and all the games and different things that we experience as like Call of Duty Wii players, I think it would have been cool to put it all in one video. So that's what I'm planning on doing with a kind of Wii community documentary. I'm just kind of going to start at the first Call of Duty Wii game and just kind of, go through all of each of the game's unique things, and then we'll talk about obviously the YouTube community, the game battles community. Glitching and hacking was huge on the Wii Call of Duty for many games. So we'll just I plan to cover those kinds of like bigger topics, and most of these topics were suggested by people in the community. So I just hope to kind of get all of that, capture it all in one video, and someday when I'm like 70, I can hopefully rewatch it and kind of just remember all the things from like our growing up and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to do that, but it's been taking a long time.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, it's gonna be cool to see that video when it comes out. I am waiting for it as well, like many others, I assure you, and I think it's gonna be awesome. And I think I'll link it in the description, the video you made about it, talking about it, starting it up. Check the description, everybody. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but are the Hey Boys working on this one by any chance, or?
I haven't asked him to do any of the editing, but it's pretty much just I don't have an ideal length in mind. Probably around an hour video, but just kind of it's kind of like a documentary where I just kind of walk through things and commentate. I hope to get maybe him to do a little bit of commentary or some kind of his touch in there, at least regarding the community montages that we made years ago.
I remember the We Are One montage.
Yeah, we made a few of those, so that was definitely one of the highlights of my time on YouTube, I think, and definitely want to include those in there. So yeah, I'm hoping to get just a little piece of all the different YouTubers that were part of the community in there somehow.
Now, do you think we'll be seeing, maybe, I don't know, like Mr. Hunting Noobs or Dazrin303 in the community video?
Yeah, definitely. I hope I'm trying to think in my mind, like I want to have at least like a way for them to I'll probably reach out to them and ask them for a little snippet at the very least, saying like one memory they had about the community or like what they want to say to the community or something, and I could include that in there. Or I was thinking to maybe have them commentate a section, like have a whole bunch of different commentators narrate over different sections. I haven't decided, but right now I've kind of ironed out the topics and I'm writing the script, but it's still a little bit away. I've been also gathering some YouTube videos and clips from these things and just kind of stashing them up for now.
No, yeah, definitely. It takes a long time, especially when you're getting footage. You gotta dig through countless videos and stuff like that and find the perfect moments, and it takes a while.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it'll be definitely worth it in the end.
So
Even
when that uploads, we can expect that on your channel, right?
yeah, for sure. And even if it, like, I hope to just send it out to all of the people who I'm still in contact with, who used to play on the Wii, just so they can kind of watch it and relive it as well. Even if it only gets
Awesome.
a couple thousand views, I hope that people who grew up playing Call of Duty on the Wii watch it and enjoy it. That's really my only goal with this.
Awesome. Yeah, like I enjoyed playing it on the Wii. Sounds funny to some people, but that's all I had. It was the Wii. It was either that or nothing, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice community. I loved the commentators, and it was awesome. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge part of my childhood, for sure.
Now, before we wrap it up and stuff like that, Conboy, what was your favorite Call of Duty out of all of them?
Call of Duty gun
Um, Call of Duty game.
game. Okay. Um, that's a tough one, and I always go back and forth. I've played pretty much every Call of Duty game on like all the different consoles. But I think for the Wii, I think it would probably be either Black Ops or World at War. Um, World at War was interesting because it was the first time I played Call of Duty on the Wii, but it was more or less a test, like kind of like an online test. The online multiplayer was so basic, but it was so fun because of all the different glitches and things you could do. But Black Ops was like probably the fullest Call of Duty game we got. I mean, we had so many features there, so probably between those two, but I really enjoyed all of them.
I think one of my favorites was MW3, simply because I had a lot of fun making friends on there and playing the survival mode. I'm not much of a big zombies guy, but survival mode, whoa, that's my thing right there. Survival mode from Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good too. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I'm trying to think what. Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a lot of fun. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me as it went, but um yeah, what game types did you usually play?
It was either domination or TDM. Domination because, well, a lot more chances, to get a lot more feeds, quad feeds and stuff of that nature. And TDM just because, well, it's TDM.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite game modes? Was it Search and Destroy by any chance?
Not on Modern Warfare 3 cuz I remember MW3 search being impossible to like find a legitimate lobby without hacks in. But I think usually my go-to game mode is in the newer Call of Duties. It's been kill confirmed, but I also did like domination a lot back in the day. Mhm.
Yeah, the hackers, big part of the Wii community also. Uh, Sometimes cool, they'd add some really cool stuff. Sometimes pretty bad, they screw up your gameplays, but I digress. It was still an awesome time.
That
And it, oh, go ahead, man.
I was gonna just say definitely they were part of big part of our community whether we liked it or not.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Anything else you want to say to the fans? Anyone on Game Domain? Anyone from the old days of Call of Duty on Wii?
I just well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on here, and
No problem.
I'm
No
excited
problem.
for this to go up, and I'm definitely gonna mention it on my channel, and I think my next video will be an update about the documentary, and if this video is up by then, I'll definitely shout it out. So thank you again for having me,
No
and
problem at all. Thank you for coming on, man.
yeah,
An
no
honor.
problem, anytime. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess if anyone's watching this from the that Call of Duty Wii community, I just hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying life and still playing games maybe. And maybe if I haven't heard from you in a while, maybe drop a comment and Let me know how you're doing. But, yeah.
Do you have any advice to anyone trying to be a commentator in today's YouTube?
Um, I think the biggest thing, honestly, is consistency. Consistently uploading the same amount at the same time each day or whatever. Like if you upload 3, 4 times a week, keep it at that and just keep doing your best to create the best content you can. And I would also suggest trying to learn how the YouTube algorithm works, at least with the tags and what to title your video, what to put in the description, things like that. There's a Google Chrome plugin if you use Chrome as your browser called vidIQ, and it actually is really good at suggesting like how to improve your videos so that they will come up higher in the search results and things like that. So biggest thing, consistency and just trying to improve your quality, and also learning how to like what to name your videos and things like that. And don't expect to blow up like in a short amount of time. I guess just have a little patience and good things will come, I think.
All right, everybody. Well, that's practically it. Thank you for watching the DomainCast. Once again, I've been your host, Super Mech Guy, and once again, another shout out to our awesome guest, iC0NB0Y. Thank you for coming on, man.
No problem. Thank you. And thanks for watching, everyone.
iC0NB0Y, where can the viewers find you?
I'm on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. I think I have a
All
Twitter,
right.
but I don't use it too much. So, yep, just YouTube.
All
for
right,
now.
guys. He's on YouTube and he's on Twitter. So go check iC0NB0Y out. He's a cool guy. You can find me as always on YouTube at Super Mech Guy, obviously, and you can find me on my Twitter, even though I don't really use it a lot, MechGuy1. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. And hopefully next time we're going to have a game developer on DomainCast. So until next time, everybody, thank you for watching.
See ya.